part of the victim culture and all of the global elite that want to destroy our God-given freedoms? Are you a pussy? If so, turn it up, because we love pissing you off. This is Voice of the People USA Radio. Engage and rage. Pure, unadulterated truth guaranteed. This is Voice of the People USA Radio. And this is Dan Smeriglio.
Coming to you live right on time. for what it's worth, so everybody understands, when we build a network and we have a lot of different radio show hosts, new hosts have a hard time understanding the schedule, and I get it. So Dan Spriglio is new here, and he doesn't know what time his own show starts. It's not his fault. He gets a pass, okay? He gets a pass. That's all I'm saying. So welcome to the abridged version of Politi-Shock. We are not pre-recorded. We are live, but the lightning is not causing you seizures. So, for those who like to complain. So, hey, how's my mic sound now versus how does it sound now? Does it sound any different?
No, not at all. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
it didn't sound no different at all.
Thank you. Then I beg to differ with the individual who said these are really expensive, great quality mics, because there's supposed to be a noticeable difference, and there is not. So, shout out to everybody and the two platforms that are still starting. Whatever. What's happening there, huh? Thank you, Haps. We love you. So, seems clear. Well, there you go. I guess
truly.
Thank you, truly.
Truly happy birth week.
Yeah, we said happy birthday last week, so happy birthday. Birthday, whatever it is. That was last week. God, don't confuse me. Anyway, listen. I'm late too. Actually, I'm never late. I'm fashionably late. So That's right. And just so people keeping a running tab understand, I had some audio issues and camera issues, and I fixed it on my own. On my own. Thank you. Thank you. From my hotel room, on my laptop, I did it all on my own, and that's intimidating to somebody like me. But damn it, where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh yeah.
So, anyway, what's going on, people?
Yo, we hanging out. We hate the world. Well, Logan just hates worlds that start with K, but I hate the rest. So that's how we divide our hatred, so that we don't put too much out there.
But, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, me neither, bro. I didn't think this show was gonna happen today.
I don't think anybody did. Honestly, I surprised myself. I'm pretty sure I said 9 last night, and then I saw it was scheduled for 7. It's 6:53. It's work call. Oh shit! I guess I better try to get on the air. 46 minutes later, here we are. So there you go. It's a beautiful thing. So. Last night was a Zen show, Carrie. I was very calm. I engaged and saged. You're welcome.
Hey.
And I think it was a good conversation. It was very mediocre and even tempo. There you go. Shout out to Sam James for subscribing. Thank you. Please don't think this is the best version of what we do here. I'll be the first to admit it, and I can get away with it because. What's up?
This man owns the platform. He can get away with anything.
That's not nice to say, but sure. Yeah, we usually go a little different direction. By now, I'm already yelling. I mean, hell, by now I'm already 55 minutes into my first yell. So, but hey,
the show goes on for 5 hours. It's okay.
Excuse me. Sometimes 4.5 when we keep it short. So Let me, I don't know, put you on the spot there. Let me
Uh-oh.
ask you guys what I asked you before. So, what are your thoughts on what's happening around the world?
So, so
You're fired.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna speak first because the last time Logan spoke and then he got chewed out and called a pussy sheep. So I'm gonna speak out first. So Logan, I got you.
Wow.
Um,
I must have missed
but I feel, and I'm like kind of like what Carrie said. I don't know about the thousands and thousands and thousands of history, nor do I care. That's not the type of shit I want to care about. That's beef shit. That's drama. I'm not with that stuff. The one thing that I do stand against, and this is for everything, is just genocide as a whole. I'm almost sure, and we got the number one historian here, Dan Smirglio. I'm pretty sure that after World War II, we all grouped together, you know, and we was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't mass genocide people. Maybe that's a little bit extreme. And then after we dropped the nukes and then the Cold War shit happened, we was like, maybe we can't use extreme excessive force. It's not going to end well. We're just going to end up destroying the world. We got to learn how to fight in some type of equal playing ground or such and such. And then we all agreed. We had the United Nations. It was really cool for a while. We had a black president once upon a time. It was all happy days. But now another country is attempting to do mass genocide, and no one's saying nothing about it. And I'm not saying pick a side. I'm not saying fuck Israel or fuck the Palestinians or fuck your mama or fuck Obama or none of that other crazy stuff. I'm just like where it comes to the humanitarian shit, that's where I'm at the line with, Hey, I don't really care about your Bloods and Crips drama. Stop throwing bombs everywhere. Like if you fucking Oprah. All right. It's not cool. You're dropping
You get
more
a
bombs.
bomb. You get a bomb.
Yo, she's dropping more bombs than Ebro in the morning at 105.1. Like, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, damn, that shit is retarded. Like, nah, we don't have to do that, And I guess if that means I'm pro Palestine in that sense, cool. But if Palestine starts doing genocide, I'll be against Palestine too. Genocide is wrong. Don't be stupid, stupid. And once this brave sage named Michaela said, everyone could be a dildo, but not everyone could be a dick. All right.
You sound like what's her face, Michaela.
Yeah.
Oh God! Flashbacks to the Podbean world.
We're gonna hear
No
start
race,
choppers
just
next.
character. I like that, Mr. Two Extra.
What's up, Mr. Two Extra? Appreciate
No
the
race,
love, brother.
no lifestyle, no religion talk. I hate it when people try to bring this shit up about religion. And oh my God, did you know that God said, and the land, the promised land? Like no one cares about that, bro. God didn't tell you to bomb those people like you playing Risk at super hard mode. It's not that crazy. That's just how I feel, Logan.
What I think about what's going on in the world, well, honestly, I don't fucking care anymore because it's all the same bullshit. And honestly, what's going on with Israel and fucking Palestine's been going on for years and years and years and thousands of fucking years, but no one wants to talk about it.
Not every year. And
okay, we had 4 years of peace. 4 years out of the thousands. Sorry.
This is now as we move into the Trump segment of the VOP Politi-Shock show.
Nope. That's something that I am not doing. As you noticed, like I said to you before we went on the air, I'm asking everybody for their opinions, and I'm asking everybody to elicit, their feedback, and then I'm going to do a solo show here relatively soon. I'm going to go into a lot of the deep-seated stuff. But what I said last night, pretty much, it still pertains to how I feel today and how I feel in general. Coin, you there?
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on the state of the world, brother?
With that situation in particular, I refuse to take a side.
Mm-hmm.
But just since it's on topic, I think the narrative behind Israel's inception is false. I think there wasn't just an empty plot of land that people are moving into. So I can side with Palestine in that sense. But I don't know who started it. I know there are war crimes going on. That's just wrong. I think we can all agree on that. My biggest issue is why are we sending so much money, one, to both sides, and two, to other countries?
Well, that's something that I would say that you probably have a understanding of, considering where you come from and your background there, and how you like to discuss various topics, because that is my overarching thing here. And again, I'm not going to give my full breakdown of where I stand and how I feel and the history behind it, but I think that the biggest thing that the world needs to pay attention to, like I said last night, is we are enriching the military industrial complex. And anybody who thought that it's just America only and solely, that it is completely false, because that is a worldwide, that's a real pandemic. And we have to enrich those who get richer off the blood and sacrifice of everyone. And I think it's absolutely disgusting that we continue to fall victim to these attacks, and people on either side have to be slaughtered, executed, whatever the case may be. And we have to create these narratives and retell these narratives. And people could give this opinion and this opinion. They could give a biblical description. They could give this description. They could give this description. You say the Palestinians. What about Hamas? What about Hamas versus? We could play this game on and on and on. But what it really comes down to is a simple fact that they are making up for lost time. And they need war, they need conflict, they need instability, and they need to absolutely distract the rest of the world from what the hell else is going on. And I think that is the greatest, and at the sacrifice of lives. People are dying to push forward an agenda. And I think that is disgusting. And yep, Mr. 2 Extra said it in the chat, and he's 100% correct, is the fact that this is a worldwide cancer. And we enrich the elitist scum, the one worlders, if you will, by causing these wars, starting these wars, engaging these wars, funding both sides. And we could play this game all day, because I've always said, and I will maintain, and I will say it now, and we're always waiting for that kill switch, Haps. But at the end of the day, the greatest terror organization the world has ever known is the CIA, followed closely by the FBI. And we thrive off of instability and conflict, and people have to die in order to push their shit forward. And it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And like I said, I am going to get more into this, on a forthcoming show here. But when you see everything going on, I mean, excuse me, how many times do we have to see the same shell game perpetrated, the same deception, the same lies told, until people really have it sink in? You know what I mean? And I know I said this last night on the show with Carrie, and I was in Zen mode, and I'm still am, even on this short show, and the full show will return next week. But it's disgusting. It's disgusting to see what we just continue to allow, and we propagandize on either side. And I just, and what you said, Elias, about the UN has been evil since inception. The UN is one of the greatest bodies of worldwide destabilization, murder, sacrifice, whatever you want to call it. It's been, they're doing Hitler proud. They're doing Hitler proud. The European Union, the wanted North American Union, the wanted Asian Union, the World Health Organization, the League of Nations, the United Nations, all this. I mean, this was all part of the original agenda. So you're just seeing it rebranded, renamed, like other things. And we're seeing it live out in real time. And it's disgusting, because lives are sacrificed at the end of the day. So that's... Nothing can change my opinion on that one, because I know I've said this to you all before, but it's one of those deals where once your eyes are opened to what's going on around you, you can never unsee what you've seen. And it's a sad state of affairs. It really is. So
I remember when we sat down when the George Floyd riots happened, right? Mm-hmm. And we sat down, and I remember I said the naive thing was, "Wow, it can't get worse than this." And then the thing in the Capitol happened. And then I think I said it again. And I think Dan was around again when I said it. I said, wow, it can't get worse than this. And if it gets worse, it's gonna be pretty scary. And Dan said it's gonna get worse and get ready. And now this is happening. So I almost want to say it can't get worse, but I'm really scared of some Red Dawn shit happening and like a world government taking over and like
plan all along.
conquering. And it's so at this point, I'm just gonna now say I am no longer surprised.
Yep.
Yep.
When you're numb to it, because you can never be amazed by what's going on, because it's just whenever you think it can't get worse, it will. And again, the enemies of all people around the world, again, they don't subscribe to any one religion, any one ideology. They subscribe to only their own enrichment and their own empowerment. And we are the sacrificial lambs when it comes to that. So they will stop at nothing, and they will do everything in their power in order to destabilize everything. And since you brought up that infamous day in January, I want to give another shout out to the wonderful, ineffectual government that we have. I mean, why arrest the pedophiles and the human traffickers and everything else when we could have a January 6th commission? You know,
because the 9/11 commission went so well.
Oh, of course, right? I mean, we got the Patriot Act, and now Alex Jones called it rightfully in 2009. He just didn't even know he was doing it. We got the Medical Patriot Act, and now we have this. I mean, you know, when you hear about all the criminals going, buck wild in the world here, you hear about the murder, the trafficking, the rape, the this, that, everything that's going on. There's our FBI sharing pictures of a 71-year-old grandma with an American flag. Do you know this person? I was very calm last night, and I hardly used any profanity for a reason. But I just want to do from the bottom of my heart a giant fuck you to the FBI, and a giant fuck you to the CIA, and a giant fuck you to both sides of our wonderful, ineffectual Congress for continuing to not give a flying fuck about what's going on in the world around you, because you are immune to it. And it's disgusting. All these wonderful commissions and all this other horse shit, and they're going to use more tax dollars to go after who did this, who brought these evil people. So tell me, I didn't mute it. So tell me, you need to do a study and a commission and investigation into what brought people to their nation's capital. Oh, it's the insurrectionists, the 100 people. Are you talking about the ones that stayed in the ropes or let in by the cops, or which ones? Which ones? It's so pathetic. It is so pathetic, and it's insulting to the people, and it's insulting to the people that aren't even politically active, because you know what? There's more and more people, like I said last night, there's more and more people that are waking up to it, and they're getting offended by it, because the stupidity knows no bounds. And it's disgusting to see it just happen time and time and time again, and people just sit there, we'll vote him out in 2022. And take in your next master, right? Take in your next master, who's going to come in and tell you what you want to hear this week, and I'm going to vote for them, and I'm going to send them my money, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Break the parties, make the government fear you. When the government fears you, there is liberty. And until we achieve that, and we could do that peacefully, might I add, so don't worry, HAPS censors. I'm talking about peaceful. But when they fear the people, we will know liberty. We scratched the surface. We're not there yet. So
I feel like,
but it's exciting to see.
It is. It's extremely exciting to see, because I feel like, if you, because y'all know me, I put things in an anime timeline, right? I feel like, and I guess this will be the first official time I talk about my political stance forwardly like this, but I feel like what Trump did in 4 years is that he woke up a lot of people that thought that liberty is dead. So and this is just me, a novice, dumb person just trying to connect dots like I'm back in second grade. Everybody always says that the greatest time in America was throughout throughout the 60s to late 70s, right? That was when everything was out there, information was out there, it was real, it was free, it was a fucking war zone. And then everything changed after Kennedy got shot, right? Everything when mass agenda 21 happened, that whole paperclip crap thing happened. Now everybody thought liberty is dead. This whole stuff is being controlled, everything's fake. Trump came and he like kind of gave a Politi-Shock to everybody's senses. He showed everybody like, look, we can still shake things up. I'm a billionaire that owned a show called The Apprentice, and I'm president of the United States, causing a big ass fuss. And I feel like now, and I'm not saying this is why Israel is bombing Palestine or nothing like that. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, I feel like after that, when it comes to like an American standpoint, a lot of things are happening. People are reacting, and they probably don't even know of what Trump activated in these 4 years. So that's just my little political hot take, I guess.
Nope. Anybody else want to weigh in?
Yeah, what you were saying about, like I said, give yourself more credit because we're all a novice in this shit. I still consider myself a novice because there's so much overwhelming information that you have to pour through to be able to find a hint of truth. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about the waking people up aspect, yeah, I agree with it. I like that. It's just happening too slow for my patience, and I have to learn to dial that back. But I want to bring it back to what I was saying about funding. You brought up the Jan 6 commission. We were talking about funding both sides of wars. This is all taxpayers' dollars. You are going to work every day if you're listening to this, and you're funding this. And we still have people homeless in the streets. We still have homeless veterans at that. We have people that are struggling to make ends meet with families, with children, and we have the funds to do something about it if we are to pay taxes. That's another discussion for another day. But if the money's there and we're using it poorly, that should slap everyone should wake up to the slap in the face that is.
It's like I said when everybody was talking about the border distraction, if you will. And I say this and I say this again and again, not as much as the whole they want you to die thing, but still we have men, women, and essentially children in cages in prisons in this country for, we're talking years off their life sentences, whatever it may be. And we don't focus on that. We don't care about that. Because we have to focus on exactly what you said, real, true life witch hunts. And it's the most insulting thing to anybody who has even a shred of intelligence, even a shred of common sense in their freaking heart. You look at that and you say, this is righteous, but let's give all this money to A, B, C, D, or E, right? Come on. It doesn't matter how I could deliver it, how you could deliver it, how Logan, anybody could deliver this. We could yell it, we could talk about it, we could do whatever the hell we want, but at the end of the day, they are literally besmirching everything that we've ever known. And it's disgusting. It is disgusting, and I'm sorry to the Facebook people who are commenting. I can't see you on here. We'll be able to see you next show. I apologize. I think I saw something pop up, so sorry. Nevertheless, we're continuing to target the people. We're continuing to target everyday citizens, working class America, whatever it is, poverty America, poverty-stricken America, middle class America, whatever it may be. We are enthralled in this caste system, and it's getting worse. It's getting more entrenched, and everybody suffers. Your money goes to fund continued suffering, and that's why I think sometimes a lot of people that are really hardcore on the right side will get mad at me when I defend people that I may not agree with wholeheartedly ideology-wise. But I agree with the passion that they have, because that's what we could capitalize on. That's what we could build off of. And that's what we could do something with. So like you said, and I'm not even going to get into the Trump aspect of it, but like you said, it goes back to an old show we spoke about. And this is all I need to say about the Trump thing. I used the example, if you remember, I think you were on that show where I think we played audio. I don't know if we did or didn't. Maybe Wolf shared it, but the video of people holding rallies and marches all over the world, and they were chanting, "We want Trump." It had nothing to do with the man. It had everything to do with the idea. So again, it was glimpses of something. I mean, you look back at powerful glimpses throughout history. Yes, you could say obviously JFK, as far as I'm concerned, the last good Democrat, who had that election stolen for him, but he went the wrong way, so they had to make sure him and his bro had to go. But Teddy, he got the Me Too points. He drowned the woman, so he's all right. He's protected. The other one, we're just going to vax you into hell, so you have no quality of life. And we're good. JFK Jr., well, you got to go. You got to fly into the ocean somewhere too. But one thing I've been addressing a lot, and I do it for a reason, Malcolm X. There was a visionary. There was a glimpse of activism, of passion, of power, right? Martin Luther King Jr., a glimpse of passion, power, activism, something more. But it's like we have all these flashes of something more. And it's like these are guideposts along the way that this is what we need to do and we need to bring back and we need to do freaking, wholeheartedly and get into it and freaking light that fire. And it can be done peacefully, but when they fear us through unity, no matter what you say about what happened that day in January, don't worry, Haps, no matter what you say, the thing they didn't like the most is whatever they had pre-planned and whatever they had set in motion, the sides that manipulate each other and they get what they want, whatever the hell the case may be, what they didn't count on and what they didn't like is the fact that people came together. They don't like that. They needed more people attacking each other. They didn't have that. Oh, they're assaulting cops. Really? They're doing this. They're doing that. Where was this? Were they more upset that they couldn't control the narrative correctly, or that President Donald Trump was late to his own speech, so they had already put out the news story on the Atlantic and various other media outlets about the insurrection at the Capitol 2.5 hours before it even started, before he was even done speaking. So again, if you're going to propagandize everything and try to manipulate it, you still do a good job, because there's enough dumb people in this world that buy into everything they see on TV like idiots, like sheep. But again, do a better job with your lying. It's the same thing as the other issue going on in the world, right? So when everybody who questions it is a conspiracy theorist or a denier, no, we're simply speaking the truth. Because of declassified paperwork, we could say, hey, Operation Paperclip happened, and we created bioweapons in labs. We brought the SS to America to do it in the 50s and the 60s. So it's declassified and it actually happened, right? So nobody is denying anything. We're saying, speak about where it comes from. If you question it, you're a conspiracy theorist. But the official narrative, oh, it's simple. We created this so we could create a vaccine to defeat it. That's your official narrative. And there's dumb people out there that actually accept that and say, oh, it makes perfect sense. Okay, so your alleged worst pandemic in history, which again, not even scratching the top 50, why better? But nevertheless, the official narrative is they created it so they could create a vaccine to kill what they created. Does it start to insult you, Elias? Does it start to insult you, Logan? Does it start to insult you, Coin? Ace? Like, is it a slap in the face yet that they expect us to be so damn stupid and to buy it and take it hook, line, and sinker every single time? Yep.
Yes, they did. They did expect us to be stupid and sheep and just listen to our government.
All the time. Constantly. Fauci, we didn't fund any medical research, but well, here's the paperwork that says you did, and here's the monies that flowed and was revealed not just by it was Rand Paul, was a right winger, a Democrat did it too. So for those of you who rely so much on the two-party paradigm to save you, you have both sides actually expose it, and then we can start taking off masks. Science changed in 6 hours because Fauci had a bad day. One party had a bad day. Cue up those shootings. Cue up those attacks. Cue up those pipelines. And conspiracy theorists, a term used to denounce and discredit somebody who is over the target and too close to the truth. The big three then, at the time, media in the 50s and 60s were told by the CIA to refer to them as conspiracy theorists, to demean them, belittle them, and discredit them. And that's been declassified as well. So again, you could sit here and call us liars all day, but this paperwork is out there. The D-class is out there. It's been there for years. You just try to bury and suppress constantly and consistently. And it's sickening.
Well, and when you bring up declassified, I like the term more, and I'm not saying declassified is a bad term, but documented and verified.
Yep.
I think those words should also be used too. I think that hits home with a lot more people as well.
No, that's a good point, because we know what we're talking about, but you're 100% right. For those who need to have it more spelled out, exactly. When it's being released to the Library of Congress or library, whatever the case may be, yeah, that way you could say it's literally documented and verified. So it's a good point. And it makes you wonder, right? So again, we are told to believe that people, but they attack the police. Okay, so we could play that left-right paradigm all day, right? Mm-hmm. So police weren't getting attacked in the streets elsewhere, or citizens weren't getting attacked elsewhere, because both happened that day, allegedly. Oh, here's video. This cop died. No, he didn't. I know a cop died of a heart attack or a stroke or something completely non-related. He got hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. No, he didn't. Here's video of the cops letting him in and telling him how to act while in the Senate chamber. Oh, that's yet to be verified footage released from MSM outlets because they're trying to cover their own ass. You see this stupidity here? We could play it all day, but at the end of the day, what they don't want, which is why the disgusting, cancerous, racist, race-baiting, segregationist in chief, Biden, and Montel Williams' side whore, Kamala Harris, are perpetrating this lie to divide and segregate because we need to distract people from what's actually happening and what the overarching thing is. And Biden just increased the emergency mobilization of troops at our nation's capital now until August. Yes, so how do you feel knowing that we have walls and fences? There are people, I'm against the wall, I'm for the wall, I'm this, I'm that. So you like the walls and the fences to keep we the people out of the people's houses, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's cool with you. That's acceptable, right? You less than 1,000 people who run our lives, run our way of living. That's okay with you. Armed soldiers that are there with, I would imagine, pretty strict orders of how to engage if somebody ran up in a group, locking arms, waving American flags or BLM flags. Should they be shot and killed? I mean, Nancy Pelosi, your virtuous Democrat, she wanted machine gun turrets. She wanted to be able to mow everybody down, right? The sickness, and that is public knowledge. And Nancy Pelosi just waves it off. Well, that was then. So that's your excuse? That's your excuse. That was then. So you just wanted machine guns to mow down people at our nation's capital. Cool. Makes sense, right?
Of course it does.
We're the problem. We're the cancer. Well, hey, we all have a carbon footprint, don't you know? So we gotta reduce that carbon footprint, raise taxes to save the climate and kill people. So again, a shout out to the now over 1.6 million people who have died from a true pandemic named tuberculosis. Did you have to wear a mask for that? or the over 2 million people that have died from pesticide inhalation. Or I could do this all day. I could keep going and going and going and going and going, and every number will be more than your worst pandemic in the history of the universe.
Did you hear the new bullshit that they have now, where like, because now that President Biden and Vice Pokemon Kamala Harris came out and they were like, hey, now that you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask to these places no more. So I'm literally at Publix, and there's a lady that she didn't have the mask, and the guy was like, yo, you got to put on a mask. And I thought of Gorgeous immediately when I saw this. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I swear I thought of Gorgeous. And the lady took out like her little thing that she got vaccinated, like proves that you got vaccinated, your little Pokemon badge that you show.
Violation of HIPAA.
Like, hey, I'm vaccinated. And they put it out there, and she told him, and then literally the dude at Publix goes, so what? I'm vaccinated, but I still wear a mask. You got to wear a mask or you have to get out. And I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, damn, so now we got to wear a mask forever now.
Forever. It's forever.
I was like, you guys are so dumb.
What did I always say? What did I yell about? The reason why I yell is the fact that once you give a little, you never get it back.
Yep.
Look at what they're trying to propagandize and what they're trying to sell you on. If you do as we say, eventually we'll let you do this and let you have your face be exposed again and maybe get within 3 feet of other people and go out past would-be curfew times as long as you're a good boy and girl. But remember to get your booster shots, and remember to get this, and remember to show your card. Now, again, what were we saying before we went on the air, which I thought was interesting, right? But we could use the old talking points, which are null and void now. They don't matter. But the My Body, My Choice, HIPAA, all this stuff, I guess that's out the window now.
Don't forget about the Fourth Amendment, too.
No, nobody
It's
knows
not
what
a
that
real
is
thing,
anymore.
Logan. Jesus Christ,
nobody-
that's a myth, like South Dakota. Jesus.
Yeah, South Dakota, huh? Elias, when you drive across the flat Earth, let me ask you.
Actually, Dan, there's actually a new law now. You don't drive across the flat Earth. You have to go about 500 miles, stop immediately, wait 14 days, and then continue driving straight.
You got to quarantine. You got to quarantine.
Yeah.
Was that in Scientology Weekly?
Yeah, actually, I was in dinner with Tom Cruise the other day, at our Dianetics luncheon. And he told me that. He was like, yo, this is what we have to do. And then whoever doesn't listen, John Travolta comes in with his greasy leather jacket and kills you. Easy.
Okay.
Wow.
My bad.
So, yeah, we have really gone there, huh? But
I've been I think you guys got to get some clips going for the show, because shit like that I think would reach a lot more broad audience.
Yeah,
just posting little funny quips.
I to be real serious, I feel like the mental mind manipulations that's going on in these world tables it's at a point now that if we don't listen or if we don't catch on, if we don't just if those light bulbs don't start coming on, bro, it's gonna be really bad, and I say bro, and I mean everybody. I don't want to be everything. I'm misogynistic and sexist and shit.
Oh, shut up.
But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be really bad. And what Quang said earlier, how he feels like this process is taking too long, it's too slow, and I agree. I feel like it is happening too slow because again, we're focused on all the wrong things or all the wrong people that talk about all the wrong things. When crazy shit happens in the world, I'm following Twitter now, and I'm it's a new thing now, and I'm hearing people going, man, I can't wait to see what such and such has to say. I can't wait to see what LeBron has to say about Israel. Who cares about what LeBron James has to say? What do you think about what's happening in Israel? Why are you waiting for LeBron, J-Lo, Lady Gaga, Joe Biden, Obama, Michelle, the Joe Rogan Experience, Louder with Crowder, Alex Jones, whatever the hell you listen to? Why are you waiting for them to do your own opinion, to form your own opinion? You should be forming your own opinion at all. It's about fucking black and white. Genocide, wrong. Not doing genocide, great idea. That's it. It's like, yo, I'm telling you, 2 + 2 = 4. But then I show it to people and they be like, 2 + 2 = 40. And then they look at me, try to give me like a high five, like if they ace that shit. And it's like, nah, bro. It's like, don't talk to me about the religion. Don't talk to me about this stuff. This is why all this process slows down. That's why we almost never talk about a great politician when they actually start coming into the fucking game 6-8 months before they show up on fucking radio interviews. I feel like this, it's getting slower. Honestly, I feel like I thought we'll be getting faster because people will be realizing how bad the past, I don't know, 3 months have been. But no, apparently we're getting slower and we're getting more complacent in where we are.
And you brought up, that's a great point too. And you brought up like all the shows, Alex Jones, Ben Shapiro, all those shows.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, watch them if you want. I don't necessarily agree with all those.
100%.
But
yeah.
You could say the same thing with Trump. That pacified a lot of people that were even free thinkers. They're like, oh, he's taking care of it. Don't need to worry about anything else.
And that should be a thing too. Like it's really crazy. Like all the real Trump supporters that I know, not the fake, not the whack ones, the Trump simps, the fanboys that only know his fucking Game 7 highlights and shit.
Trump
nah,
cards.
like the real Trump supporters, they're people I talk to, like Dan, like others, that they'll be like, yeah, that dude says some funny shit. Yeah, he really said that, huh? It's like they don't even defend it all. They're like, yo, what do you think about him throwing paper towels at Puerto Ricans? Yeah, that was funny as shit, right? Yeah, it wasn't right, but hey,
Kobe.
like it's never a thing, and then we can, it's like the real ones, and I say that to everybody, whatever you're a fan of, it's okay to disagree sometimes with people that you are cool with or you look up to or you look for advice or knowledge or little nuggets of wisdom. It's okay because they're not you and you're not them. I believe that's the whole key of happiness, really. Understanding that main concept and understand that, okay, you're you, I'm me. We can live the way we are. Just sometimes I can't talk to you about certain things. Like I can't talk to Dan about Netflix specials. Dan hates Netflix specials. Why will I talk to him about all the amazing Netflix shit I watch when I know as soon as I bring up anything that says Netflix, his next response is going to be, yeah, I'm sorry. I just think that shit's a bunch of corporate Nazi jumbo communist piece of shit, blah, blah, blah.
Event 201.
Event 201. Yeah, it's, yeah.
To your point, Elias, it's a great point. And I sum it up as individualism today doesn't correlate with unity, and it should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're spot on. That's what we were talking about last night, and that's what I've been saying, and I've been saying this since I held my first rally in 2007, that we need to stop looking up to people to follow and just put all our faith in and worship as some type of deity or demigod or whatever the hell the case may be. Mm-hmm. Start to believe in yourself and start using your own power and actually taking a stand for something more than what you're doing and more than people that, even outside your own understanding or comfort zone, and start showing true strength through freaking unity and actually uniting people and enacting the power that we all have if we're just brave enough to do it. What do you think? Like what we spoke about last week when I went on and on and on the last hour of our freaking 4.5 hour show, when I was talking about, I meant what I said.
Yeah.
We have to stop censoring ourselves. We could talk about the disgusting social media censorship and everything else, and we're going to touch on that shortly. But fuck you, Twitter, and fuck you, YouTube. But nevertheless, we are guilty now of censoring ourselves. We are guilty now of limiting ourselves. We are guilty now of falling victim to what they're dropping, and nobody is immune to it. But we are guilty of doing this to ourselves at this point. And that's what I was saying last night. We need to get back into the streets, and we need to do something different and do something energized, do something, just a whole different paradigm, because people need to understand the power that they have, because at this point, the rest of the world is more awake than we are, and that's a damn shame.
When you said something last week that was Yeah, go ahead, Eli.
No, I just wanted to say that. Like, yo, it really is sad. Like, it's a fucking shame how we're supposed to be the smartest country in the world, the pinnacle of how everyone has to be. And like, we're the last ones to catch on to this shit. I swear to God, I feel like I'm Beyonce when fucking Jay-Z cheated on me. And I was the last one to find out. Holy shit.
Because Hollywood and Mockingbird Media had you looking to the left and they were acting on the right. Or vice versa, if you think that was a political reference.
No, yeah. I'm sorry, Quinn. That's just what I wanted to add into that.
I just wanted to emphasize what Dan said last week about we stand together for our conviction, I think, if I have that right.
Yep.
I thought that was a beautiful statement because we shouldn't be nitpicking on whether or not we agree on these little things, because there is an over looming presence that is coming for all of us regardless.
Yeah.
And that censorship is how they started. So if we fight back against that together, we can figure out all those little differences along the way.
Damn straight. And that's why I've shown support, like I've said, and I will defend somebody's right to speak, whether it's something that I absolutely freaking disagree with and I wholeheartedly am against, but they have the right to freaking say it. And if we don't start standing up for each other and start saying that, pointing the fingers and casting people aside ourselves and censoring ourselves, then we're just constantly falling prey and falling victim to the same old bullshit, the same old cycle of recycled crap and propaganda and lies and control and tyranny and oppression and suppression. And it goes on and on and on and on. And we could do historical relation all damn day and talk about, well, back in this day and back in this year, you know what? History has a place and people should learn history, and they've done everything in their power to erase history for a reason, to control people's minds from a young age. It's happened. It's still happening. It's going to continue to happen. At the same point in time, understanding history is one thing, but realizing it's 2021 and the people who want us fucking eliminated are anywhere from 40 to 100 years ahead of where we are now. They are far surpassed where we are, surpassed our mindset. And a little thing could shake them to the fucking core, like coming together. They count on, if BLM is having a rally, then there's going to be Proud Boys over here doing this. If Proud Boys are doing this, you're going to have Antifa over here doing this. If we have these names and these sides and these divisions and these stupid freaking, pillars of what's right and what's wrong, and this applies to this side, this applies to this side. Fuck your sides. Fuck your controlled narrative. Fuck your media. Fuck your propaganda. Fuck your bullshit. Fuck your lies. Stop falling victim to it time and time and time again, because there's, like I say, and I repeat this ad nauseum, is the fact that there's more that unites us and fucking divides us. And if we just are brave enough to understand that and accept that, we might actually move forward in a hell of a way. Because when you have socialists and conservatives and atheists and Christians marching together in London, marching together in Germany, marching together in Switzerland, marching together in Brazil, and here we are in America, is it okay if I take my mask off today? Do I have to be at home by a certain time because COVID gets you after 9 p.m.? Oh, but I live near another state. Their curfew's 10. So I guess COVID, they take a break. It takes a break there, right? Or am I allowed to shop here today? Am I allowed to buy this today? Can I get gas today? Can I work from home today? Am I allowed to go to school today? When you send your kids to school every other day or 2 days of the week or 3 days of the week, that's going to save you from the media, the propaganda. The order is the virus, and we are the perpetuation of the virus when we inflict censorship and we oppress ourselves now. Masterful shit. Done brilliantly.
Milk toast.
Mm-hmm. Simple, right? It's the simplest solution. It's the simplest solution. And why do I say solution? Does that sound like a final one?
Nope.
And believe me, do you think that in the history books there, do you think that Hitler was only trying to kill the Jews? He killed handicapped people. He would kill people of color. He would kill. There was no. We were just seeing what we were supposed to see or allowed to see back then, right? That was a dry run. Now we have people freaking, Oh, mental health is an issue, so let's exploit that. Let's force more people to kill themselves. And again, what I say time and time again, it pisses me off. But the first world suffers, the third world dies. More and more people are starving to death in quote unquote third world nations, which that's like saying liberals are leftists, right? I hate that term, and I hate saying third world because it's insulting to those people. And there's so many goddamn good people in this world, but we minimize them and we fall victim to the stereotype, right? So many people do it. But regardless, they know it'll work, they know it'll be effectual, and they do it, and they take advantage of it, and more people have died from starvation than any wonderful pandemic. More people have died from suicide. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And this is what they're forcing. This is what they're bringing out. This is what they're causing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And they're geniuses. The simplest answer. The simplest answer. But I mean, they're going full board now because the uniparty in control. I'm not naive enough to say it's just one side. I know it's the uniparty of evil, but at the end, and that's insulting to evil, sadly. At the end of the day, I mean, we have the pandemic, then we have the cure. Shout out to President Trump for that tweet in the very beginning. We can't let the cure be worse than the sickness. Shout out. Very prophetic. And those words should ring true many years into the future. And also, Trump, please stop trying to get credit for the vaccine. You don't want that. Nevertheless, we fucking no problem. We allow this shit to happen and be commonplace, and now we have the lowest birth rates in history. Oh, that's great. That's great. We're reducing our carbon footprint. Oh. So people are locked down, right? And we're having lower birth rates, lower pregnancies, less fertility. Do you see it? Do you see it? And it just, I sit here and I think even the most naive person who is maybe sold on either which side and doesn't know anything else should be able to see what's being perpetuated. You know?
On that, I just want to touch on what you just said about people being locked down and not our birth rates going down. Get the fuck off OnlyFans if you're listening. Get the fuck off of there. That girl does not know you, does not engage with you. I'm all about making money. Get your money if you're an OnlyFans model. But if it's not conducive to a good mental health, I think. I have never once seen the good that can come from interacting strictly online with your significant other. That, to me, I think a lot of guys are seeing that in these girls, and they're throwing money at them, and you're fucking your mental health up when you do that. Go interact with people.
I mean, and I, you know, and I'm not trying to disrespect your point there. My personal opinion is, hey, I
love pushback.
No, it's not even pushback. It's say, you know what? If you're going to do OnlyFans, do your thing. If you're going to do TikTok videos, do your thing. If you're going to YouTube, I say, be free to do what you want to do. That's my personal. I am. Whereas in the past, I was maybe just very far. I don't think there's any such thing as this right-left paradigm. I was very far on the conservative only side, but then again, I evolved and I woke up and I started seeing shit more. I really, and we're not talking fake ass libertarian shit here. I hate them. Not all, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but as far as liberty goes, I think people should be free to do what they want to do. And I honestly mean that. If that's what they, and I don't knock anybody who does anything like that. That's their choice. But that also goes back to my core of what I was saying before, with regards to mass, with regards to anything else. My body, my choice, right? Or your body, your choice. How you want to put it out there, how you want to make money, how you want to provide. Rock on. I say, you do you. I will never knock anybody for that. I go deeper than where you went, Coin. So, and again, I'm not trying to shit all over what you said there, because again, everybody.
I was very kind of forceful with that statement. I know, but it's just because I believe how close I was to that point from a personal experience, and I don't want anybody else to experience that.
Got it. Well, again, I don't knock anybody for any viewpoint, But at the same time, I think it's one of those deals where, people need to feel free to be themselves and be what they want to be, but look deeper, because that is the furthest thing from the core of the problem. We're creating an environment, and that's why I say in the new day and age, the new model, I support people who are taking care. I don't personally, but I support people who are, they want to do for themselves or for their families. I don't knock them, because they're adapting to the nature of where things are in this world now. I don't fault people for that. I fault the ones at a higher level. I fault the ones that are really, this is something that is so stupid to me, but Sky News talking about the rise of the sex robots and things of that nature. And I mean, I look at it like this. You have successfully, we don't need free people talking to each other. Stay 6 feet apart. We don't want you to have speech. Put a mask over your face. Don't get close to me, because you're not allowed to speak to me. You may be sick. You may be poison. You may be a virus. People have guns. Well, we're gonna go after them now. Okay. People have their religion. Oh, I'm gonna shut down the churches, shut down the synagogue, shut down this, shut down that. Okay. They are literally I'm trying to think best how to put it out there and to explain how I see it in my mind and how I know what it is. I don't know how to put it out via words, I guess. That's the best way I could put it right now. It sounds kind of crappy, but it's a bigger narrative. It's a bigger narrative. People should have the right to view what they want, subscribe to what they want, watch what they want, do what they want, whatever the case may be. They should have that right. They're trying to take that away too. They want everything to be whatever they can control, however they can manipulate it. The one-worlders, if you will, because I know when people don't like when I say they. Who are they? If you got to ask, you are the problem. Okay? So I'll just refer to them as one-worlders. They're very much opposed now to pornography, to videos, to social media videos, obviously, through Twitter, through social media, because they've controlled it to the point where they got to where they needed to be, but it took on a life of its own. So they don't want that now. No. Now you have to get their apps. Now you have to get their sex robots. Now you have to watch their prescribed platforms. Now you have to do what we tell you is acceptable. You see what I'm going with this? I'm trying to explain it as best as I possibly can. And again, I'll find the words eventually, but it's just...
You're basically saying, you summed it up there, I think, perfectly with you have the liberty to view what you want to watch.
Damn straight.
I just want people to know the consequences that come with it. Yes, you're right about the fact that it took on a world of its own, and people are making money independently now from it. So people don't want that. That's the antithesis of what, quote unquote, they want. So it's a catch-22 right here, because I'm pro making your own money, but at the same time I'm pro mental health.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have zero concern about mental health. It sounds good in a public service ad. Stop Asian hate. We honor you this month. We do this. It sounds good on TV. It sounds good on radio. They don't give two shits about that. They don't give two shits about that at all. That it's just propaganda to try to be virtuous, to try to sell you on today's lie, and they're eventually going to navigate that into something else and where they needed to go and where they needed to be. But again, if you're feeling upset, don't talk to people. Nope, take pills. It'll feel better.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly why I had someone like Tracy Simons on the network, where we can literally sit there and talk about, like, hey, there's other things that you can do besides just taking a prescribed medication, going to over the counter drugs,
Natural.
And it works. I mean, there's people that need medication, for their illnesses, like, people that we know, then that's different. Like, like my mom is really sick. She needs the medication that she needs. Like, she has, like, her thyroids don't work. She needs those pills to pump up her thyroids, So I won't tell my mom, like, nah, don't take that. Be organic, do it yourself. Like, no, like,
there's an exception to every rule.
Exactly. Like there's some pills that help the body, and then there's some that I think you don't need to use it all the time. But an excess on anything is a problem. Even water, I'm learning, because people are apparently allergic to water. So sad. I'm sorry.
I wanna take a break here and explain to people who may be listening for the first time. I know there's some of you out there, and shout out to all of you, and thank you for listening, and thank you for tuning in. I love you all. This was a very the show definitely went off incorrectly compared to what we usually do. That's on me. And this is an abridged version of what we usually do. But again, VOPUSARadio.com is a website. And, I would say follow us on Twitter, but that brings me to our social media manager. I wasn't paying attention to the Twitter, but I saw a certain account say what I was just talking about before. I had seen that tweet, Ace, and said, so is it safe to say that we are officially just fucking suspended forever from Twitter? Is that, can we say that? The at VOP USA Radio Twitter account is just gone now? Forever?
Did they
like
give
our
us a
YouTube
reason?
channel? Ace?
I mean, it's still suspended. So at this point, I'm not, in my opinion, it's safe to say it's gone. It's no more. But I don't understand why, as a company, you cannot entertain us by at least providing that information. Because when I go pull it up right now, your account is suspended and not permitted to perform this action. Cool. So either delete it and send the email saying, yo, this is gone, don't come back, or at least have the decency to put the time frame on it. Because from my understanding, there was no time frame ever put.
Nope.
And don't get me wrong, I've ran a business before of my own, and I've worked in plenty of businesses, but typically you tend to tell people how long they're going to be suspended for. Like, hey, you're suspended pending investigation. I should have, you should hear from me no later than X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at least YouTube did us dirty, but at least they said, your channel's gone now. You could appeal, but we're not going to respond to you. But your channel's gone. For no real good reason, but your channel's gone. At least they told you. It's gone. We removed it forever. Okay. I mean, you're disgusting, and I loathe you and detest you, but okay. At least you said it. I expected nothing else. But again, VOP USA Radio YouTube channel, now up and running. But nevertheless, but the Twitter one, yeah, just suspended. That's all. No time, no nothing, no response. We're over a week later, and that is why, at VOP USA Radio, the voice of the People USA Radio Network, we own our own network, and we are our own entity, and we are our own platform. So when all the kill switches are hit, we will still be here at VOPUSARadio.com and various other places. So a big shout out and a big middle finger to all the technocratic scumbags. So I don't have the ability. The Twitter is using my at Dan Spiriglio one. Again, good luck spelling it. And also, what's the other one called? Ace. Not that we endorse this, of course.
VOP2USA.
Yes, at VOP2USA on Twitter. We don't support that, of course. We have nothing to do with that.
VOP USA 2 was taken?
Oh, no, you missed it. Ace created a whole bunch of different accounts. Twitter did say that. If you try to create any other accounts, we will block you indefinitely. So Ace put up a couple different ones, and they immediately suspended or deleted, which was kind of hilarious.
It was based
Ace,
off
what
of who I
happened with
followed. I had to stop following people.
Ace, what happened with VO Petty? That one didn't work out either?
No, technically this is VO Petty, but I took the petty off and made it more appropriate. It's the same account, though. I just changed the handle. I was like, let me be a little more appropriate now that the pettiness is over and you're letting me tweet.
Well, they've gotten to the point, too, where they require a phone number now. And I have seen where a lot of people are using burner phone numbers account. There are companies that provide those. So
Here's my whole.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So what's the age requirement? Like, what's the youngest you can make a Twitter?
I don't even know.
Dude, I had one at like 13.
Dude, what are you talking about? You just lie about your age like everyone else fucking does.
Oh.
In all technicalities, you're supposed to be at least 13 years old, but let's be honest, a lot of people lie about their age.
Yeah.
Might be
I
going
forgot
as
what
June
my
9th,
host.
1969.
I had a whole segment into this, but I completely just had a brain fart, and I have no idea what I was gonna say. So I'm just gonna shout
Talking
out
about Twitter censorship.
BlueChew.com, promo code VOP USA Radio, get 20% off. Ladies, there's a weekend coming on. I know you guys want to have that good night with your man. If he's not performing at the proper peak, Blue Chew is here to help you make sure that he performs at all peaks. 20% off. VOP USA Radio. That's the promo code. All proceeds go to VOP and Dan, and I'm done. Okay.
And Dan, that sounded wrong. So yeah, obviously, again, there's a million places to follow us. You can still follow us here on Fascist Book as well, and all the other platforms, and here on Haps while they keep us up. Although they were playing some games this morning too, I noticed. But nevertheless, basically, we have a shit ton of shows. We have a ton of shows all over the place. So make sure to check it out, and you won't be disappointed. We have everything covered at our network, and we're constantly growing, and we're constantly evolving and changing up and adding more and more and more. And that's what freaking counts. Because we, again, for those who are listening for the first time, I know there's some of you out there that we are an absolute free speech platform, and we are the alternative to the crap out there. And we don't censor ourselves to make us more marketable or palatable, if you will, to I don't even know where I was going with that. You get the point. All right. We say the shit that we say, and we don't really care how others view it, because we have our own mission, our own agenda, and our mission at the end of the day is truly strength through unity and free speech absolute. Bottom line. I think it's a quick way of actually surmising that, right?
Yeah, it's about the quickest way I've ever seen you do it.
I know, right? That's impressive. I'd never done it like that. These short little episodes, right? Usually you could catch us on Thursday nights for the Politi-Shock show, the flagship show, which again, we will be celebrating the birth of the VOP USA Radio at the end of July, and which started in 2009. But the Thursday night Politi-Shock show usually starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday nights. And I assure you, we go a lot longer than an hour and a half or 2 hours. We're not. Elias wasn't kidding when he says, 4 hours, 5 hours, sometimes 6, sometimes 9. And I know that's pretty rough, but we've done it. We've definitely done it. So a little bit different this week because I'm actually on the road traveling. So that's what's up there. So
I know I find it hilarious now when I talk to people and they'll be like, yo, how long you guys do your pods for? And I'll be like, like about 3 hours, or if I'm doing Politi-Shock, like 1,000 hours. And they'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're just sitting there talking to people for 3 hours. That's insane. How could you do that? And I'm like, man, I honestly, I don't even find it as a problem anymore. Like, as if the people are here and if they're willing to hear us, man, yo, why not, man? Let's do 5. Let's do 6. Let's keep it bumping. Let's keep it going. Because at the end of the day, who is out there like us, So the more we're on, the more we get to have people that get to see real news, real talk, real radio, none of that noise.
Just real shit, man. And like I've always said, I mean, we got some really badass shows. We got different shit. We got every damn category in the world covered at this point. I mean, there's nothing on here that we don't, address at this network. It's not all politics all the time. We do everything. Our partners, our bros, a freaking technical work rate, and their entire universe of the internet wrestling community bring in entertaining, funny ass shit. I mean, we got you guys with the round table discussing everything. We got the Fred Hampton leftists putting their political viewpoints or really just life opinions out there. We got Jackie with the media stuff, the cinematic reviews. We got TJ doing his whatever, shoot the shit style stuff. We got freaking, I mean, you name it. We could just do this all damn day. We have so many. We have ladies' night on Monday night. We have, Carrie and Kevin on Sundays. We have new shows launching. We have so much stuff. So again,
Coincidentally.
oh yeah. I'm sorry, I forget about those who I haven't heard from in how long. Did you think I wasn't
going
gonna?
to have on Sunday night?
We also have a sports show on Sunday nights. It is not
Mhm.
named yet, but there is a football sports show. So that's coming. That's becoming a thing.
No, and it was good. I liked the first episode, and of course, I don't even like sports anymore. So and yeah, and then that guy, that dude, that what's his face, the 6'9", 6'9", 6'9", 6'9",
Fuck off.
6'9". But yeah, he found his way back to Thursdays. It's nice of him. I appreciate that. And also, we got to give. I mean, I am going to get a Tales from the Woodshed going. So shout out always to Wazzy and to the gorgeous one. I can't believe I say that. That's how you know I love the guy.
For real.
You know,
He stopped saying Charming Misfit after the first episode.
I know I hate that shit, but I throw you some kudos though. Listen, I even steal
100%.
some of your lines sometimes.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but I do think that on Thursdays when Dan can't do it, Politisage should
Politicage.
No.
engage in sage. Anyway, but
I gotta talk to that audio guy that made the engage and rage. I gotta see how much he'll do if he just makes a total sage one for me.
God, you're paying that bill, ass. And yes, we got to update a lot of our audio. Actually, there's so much, but
In a world
I mean,
where you engage with sage,
I love it.
no,
I'll do it.
just shut up. Anyway, I don't censor anybody, but you shut the hell up. I'm going to mute you. Anyway, I say that with love, of course. But no, we got everything going, and we're not too far out. Inevitably, we're going to launch a second channel. So, and that's going to have different content. We're going to be putting exclusive stuff out there as well, our unfiltered shit, which it all really is, but you know where we're going with that. So we got a lot of stuff coming. We got a lot of shit. And again, this is, reminders, and we will get those press credentials sent out as promised. But we're going to be doing live stuff from events as well, from protests, from rallies, from press conferences to media events to whatever the hell it is. We're an actual freaking media empire. I mean, a broke empire, but we're an empire nonetheless. So we have real press credentials. We're a real legit organization. We're going to be out there in everything and anything because why the hell not? So, yeah, there you go. I did the lighthearted stuff.
This is brought to you by Dan Tifa Foundation. Don't forget to drop the fire, and you'll get some lightning.
Oh, Logan, come on, man. He said fire.
Come on, Logan. You have one job: clips and
Exactly. You have, dude. Really? Come on, man. Yes. If you're looking to really rebel against the system, Dan Tifa is here for you. You can find us on 18chan this week.
We seriously have to make a Dan Tifa Twitter.
Yes. Hey, they wouldn't connect that dot, right? They're too
No.
stupid.
Not at all. That's gonna be the think bathroom mirror D. Oh yeah, all that shit, bro.
Wait a minute. Yo, are you saying Dan Tifa or are you saying Dianon?
Ooh, that's
I'm
important.
just-
Those are two separate things. Dan Tifa's the religion, Dianon's the system. Remember that.
There you go. I like it.
Remember that. That's different, guys. All right.
Can we-
Maybe can we get your Prince Ahmed to come join too?
No, they stopped following us once we left the podcast platform, so we're not cool with them anymore. They don't find us.
They were probably in Palestine.
Oh, shut up, dude. Jesus, man.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
So,
No, you're not.
man. So, how we sounding, people out there in the world that are listening to us live? We sounding all right? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, for what this show is, we actually touched on some pretty important shit. I like to think, in my opinion. I mean, I'm far from self-complimentary, if you will, because you all know I hate the sound of my own voice. I don't like listening to anything that has me on it ever. But I think we actually touched on a lot of important shit, even in this little abridged episode. So I think it's kind of cool.
Are we naming that the abridged episode?
The abridged episode. I want to be professional. I want to really up my cred here. Up my street game, my professional broadcaster lingo.
You are a professional broadcaster. You've been doing
I'm
this for about 11 years.
Yeah, well, 12, and that's not anything to be proud of, because if that's the case, then I'm really bad. But
Or
That's
really
a-
real. It's all about
Right?
perspective.
yeah, there you go. There you go. That's
Yeah.
right. We brought you the VOP network in a record time. 12 years and 6 months. So
Let me ask you, Dan,
Quantity over quality.
before anything, let me get into my little interviewer bag here. 12 years ago, when you started, let's say 13 years ago, when the VOP was a thought,
Interviewer
right?
bag.
And it was just an idea. Did you ever see it being this? Did you ever see the pushback being this big, the war being this big, the purpose, the citizens coming in as hard as they are?
yes, when I initiated, if you will, setting up my first rally when it was this Voice of the People in 2007.
Yeah.
I really thought then, that was before, like I say, the Tea Party, before all that stuff. I really thought that there's a void and there's something missing, and we need to get people active. And even then, my mind wasn't where it's at now, right? It rapidly evolved. I was still very, I'm a Republican and I'm proud. But nevertheless, I thought there was power in still, even then, bringing people together and having them unite on things that we stand together on. So I'm not going to lie and say that I didn't see it. I believed in it. And if I didn't believe in it, I would have given up a very long time ago. Because remember, I held my last active rally in 2010 after I already walked out on a real radio show, and then took it online. But I believed in what the message was, because I believed there was something more. Was it clearly defined in my head as to where it could go? Maybe
Yeah.
not. But in my heart, I knew what it could be if it was done right. And it wasn't a matter of it could only be me doing this. My whole thing always was, I want you to do your rallies. I want you to launch your shows. I want you to do this, right? But I believed in my heart in the mission and where it would lead to. It took a while, because that's why you were saying before about things happening slower. Believe me, I know that. But patience is key, right? Did I think it would come to the point where we're at now? Yes and no. I believe that it wasn't going to go away. I didn't know exactly how it was going to look, but again, adapt with the times, right? So I've always believed that absolute free speech platform and absolute free speech gatherings, peaceful freaking rallies, show of force, of unity, of strength and numbers could lead to something more. But we have to set that fire. We have to ignite that spark. We have to be the ones to do it rather than sit there and wait for somebody else to come along and do it. That's why when I held a rally, I'm like, oh, Dan, you have to speak last because it's your rally. First off, who the hell are you to tell me? And secondly, what am I? So I'm a nobody. I'm a nothing. I'm an irrelevant. I am nothing more than a human being with a microphone. And yes, I spoke passionately then, and I was loud and everything. I didn't pre-write anything. I spoke from the heart. But again, one of my most favorite things to do was hand the microphone to people in the audience. You can't do that. You have death threats against you. You have people who want you dead. You have this, that, everything else. It didn't matter. It was about giving people the dais, giving people a platform to speak, to be heard, because that's been lacking for so long. And I got tired of sitting here waiting for somebody else to come along and do something that I know in my heart that I could do better than them, and not for my own benefit, but to bring other people in and hopefully inspire something in them and ignite something in them and have them do it for others,
100%, bro. And I would, just to close this off, because I see Ace is ready and I don't want her to yell at me. But what would you say to the Dan Smirglios 13 years ago that are right now, that are seeing the shift in the world, the cracks in the seams, and they just want to change, but now censorship is at an all-time powerful, and they're really pressuring on. What would you say to them?
When somebody is telling you that everything you think, everything you feel in your heart, everything you're passionate about, everything you feel in your mind, when people are telling you that you are wrong, that you are demonized, that you are out of place, that you don't belong, that there's no room for that thought, for that free think, for that passion, for that mindset, when people are telling you that you are wrong for thinking freely, you should use that as an igniter, as an ignition to speak louder, to overcome your own fear, to overcome your own self-censorship, as I've been addressing and alluding to time and time again, to not silence yourself, to not be quiet, to speak out in spite of them. Use that as your catalyst to get on the stage and then do it for the righteous reasons. I didn't start these rallies and say, hey, the Republicans offered me a lot, and they did. They offered me a lot of money to go be a GOP surrogate back in 2007. I told them to go fuck themselves at the second rally we ever had. I probably shouldn't have done that. They all told me, but I felt good because I was staying true to myself. Never sell out who you are, your convictions. When you are being told by everyone who has a voice that you are wrong and out of line, that you should not say these things out loud, that you have no right, no place, that's when you need to fight back and not conform and not give in and do, whether it be now, back then online wasn't the biggest thing in the world, right? But whether it's in the streets, which I always think is key, or online on platforms like this, you have a place to go. You have a place where you belong and you're accepted, but be comfortable with yourself and believe in yourself and your words and your mind enough to rise above that bullshit, rise above the oppression and suppression of others and governments and everything else, and fucking speak freely, speak proudly, and speak loudly. Fuck everybody's opinions. Fuck everybody's negativity. Fuck everybody's death threats. Rise above that and you do you. Never let anybody tell you or direct you or guide you or offer their advice to how you could achieve A, B, C, D, or E. You know what? Fuck your path. Fuck your vision. I have my vision, and my vision isn't for me. It's for the whole. You don't see that. You're a self-serving asshole. I see it as something more. I want to create a platform that it's going to broadcast Dan Sbriglio. No. It's going to broadcast the group that I created. No. It's going to broadcast a radio network. It's all about the name and the branding. No. It's about putting a platform out there that is welcoming, whether it be in the streets, whether it be on the radio, for people to be heard, because too many people feel forcefully silenced, and that's what defeats that fire. That's what puts that flame out. That's what causes people to fall into depressions, to fall into these paths, if you will, of not believing in themselves and conforming. It doesn't feel right, but I'm going to conform because I don't feel like my mindset belongs. I don't feel like that I have the voice. Never let anybody hold you back. Be your own biggest supporter. And if you're doing it for the righteous and virtuous reasons, for real, that you want to create something bigger to give other people that opportunity, because do you think there was anybody back then that put me on radio shows, maybe once or twice, and then they demonized me? They're doing hit pieces on me in the AP. They're doing hit pieces on me in the USA Today, and the New York Times, and CNN. I'm laughing because I am a nobody. I am a nobody. But the fact that you're covering it, I'm going to use your negativity. I'm going to use your death threats. I'm going to use the fuel from the jobs that I lost, the relationships that I lost, the friends that I lost, the family being targeted, from all the shit that you have to sacrifice, all the money and the effort and everything that you have to overcome to put something out there when it's being done for the right reason. And their problem was, it's not for the right reason. No, the right reason is simply, if it's for a greater good, be fearless and be resolute and never back down. And I want to be that whole pay it forward bullshit. I want to be a platform where we offer others that opportunity. I don't care if you're a seasoned professional. I don't care what you're trying to be. Be you. And we're going to be here for you to help be a catalyst for you to get out there and have your voice heard. That's what's needed. That's what's lacking. We have great platforms out there. We have some great news shows out there. We have great radio shows out there. But again, call into the show and be heard. Great. Calling in. You're off in 2 minutes. Wonderful. Do you feel that you've accomplished something? I want to say, call in, come back next week, be a co-host. Start your own show. Offer alternatives. Offer platforms. Offer that hand up in any way, sense, or form. But allowing people to feel like their voice and their opinions and their thoughts matter goes a long way. And people don't understand that until they lived it. I could proudly say, and I have zero of this ego shit. I'm going to shut up after this. It's not about me. It's not about, look at what I've done. I will say I put in the blood, sweat, and tears and sacrifice and loss, and we're still here in 2021 like we were in 2007, and we've lost a lot along the way. But what we have gained has been monumental and worth it every single solitary second. Good, bad, indifferent, it's worth it. Because when you're doing something for the right reasons, when you're doing something to help others help themselves, I will never apologize for that. I will never say that it's out of line, and I will always say it's justified and just. I'm done.
Dan Smigler, boys and girls. Ace, the floor is yours. Thank you, Dan.
All right, so I'm gonna be a little special, and I'm gonna say this so that anybody who makes it this far can see me. I'm not like these other pansies that hide my face or whatever. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you got a problem with what I'm gonna say, you are more than welcome to find me, boo boo. I am a-okay with that. So, with that being said, if you are easily offended, you might want to leave now, because I give no fucks. If you have not met me before, my name is Ace. I'm a Sagittarius. I like long walks on the beach, virgin sacrifices, hail Satan. Yes, it is my ongoing joke, but at the end of the day, I say what I mean what I say, love it, like it, hate it. I give no fucks either way. I've been listening throughout the entire thing. I've been honestly ready to talk, but I've sat back and waited. So I appreciate you for holding on long enough to allow me to participate after closing out my shift. I want to go ahead and just put out there that the majority of people are constantly finding themselves saying, I'm offended. Cool. That's your right. Be offended. But if you're offended by everything, then what the fuck is your problem? Because at this point in time, you should have learned that shit changes, life changes, deal with it. If you don't know this and you're a grown adult, hi, do you not remember puberty? Because do you remember all those changes? Changes are fucking normal and natural. They happen whether it is directly to you or it is around you. If what somebody is doing or saying does not directly affect you, why the fuck are you offended? But with that being said, if it is something that you think should not be occurring because it affects the masses, not because it's against your religion, fuck your religion. You can have your religion. I'll do respect to it. I will never chastise you for it. But in the case of whether or not something is right or wrong for others to do, fuck your religion, because you're not that person. If you ain't their mommy and you ain't their daddy, your opinion don't fucking matter. When it comes to be occurring. Wow.
Sorry.
When it comes to the stuff that is happening right now, like you guys were talking about earlier, Israel versus Palestine, yes, it has been an ongoing thing. Literally every 4 to 7 years, their war just goes full blown. Fuck the history. Fuck what you think. Why don't you sit there and think about what's occurring now? Like Elias was saying, at no point in time could you ever say that genocide is okay. And if you can, I want you to go ahead and I want you to watch videos of the people that they are posting online that are explaining what's going on, where you can hear the bombs in the background. You see the kids crying, literally in a corner all together, trying to keep the youngest one from crying, trying to cheer each other up and sing songs. Whenever you sat there and you thought it was okay to kill a child, let alone a person in general, you officially denounce the fact that you have any sort of humanity in you. Because unless it is in your self-defense, and there is no other way out of it, why are you causing harm to another person? You want to talk about, well, Israel's right or Palestine's right. I don't give a fuck who you think is right. At what point in time do you tell your government stop funding this shit? Because they're funding it only to get them to spend the money back into us. And it's your tax money they're doing this with. Did it not dawn on you that was a problem when the United States decided to take your tax money and funnel it into another country to be the behind scenes of a war? They've been doing this forever. They have been behind the motivation in a lot of these wars. But do you question it? No, you go along with the narrative and what's said. At what point in time do you stop and actually ask why? Why is this happening? Why is this what's going on? What caused this? What is the real reason? Why do these people think it's okay? What are they being told to make them think this way? Why do I think this is okay? Why do I agree or not agree with this? What is the real reason behind it? And please tell me it's not going to be just because I heard it on TV. I heard a man at a pulpit say it. I didn't read the book. I just heard it. At some point in time, you have to realize that you literally have just become nothing but puppets. And if you want to sit here and throw out labels, awesome. You do that. You want to call yourself right when you do that. You want to call yourself left when you do that. And when people ask, I'll tell you, I'm an anarchist. Don't know what an anarchist is? You should probably look up the real definition of an anarchist and not just assume what the government propagandized quite a while back, just like they did with what a communist is. You might want to do your real research. But the point of these labels, null and void. You're a fucking person. I'm a person. I don't care if you think that a woman shouldn't be on a platform talking. I don't care if you don't think a woman shouldn't have an opinion. I don't care if you have a problem with the color of my motherfucking skin. At what point in time do you sit down and say, you know what? We're humans and something's not right. Something's going wrong. Put down your petty fucking differences and think about the life itself. Think about your life. Look at where you started and look at where you are now. Look at the work you fucking put in to get to where you are. You made your way through school, however far you made it. You put in the hours to get the money that you have, or you hustled on the street and made those connections, whatever the fuck it is you do to make your money. You didn't just sit there and let it fall in your lap. You didn't let somebody tell you, no, this is how you got to do it. Okay, you want to do this? No, you definitely got to make sure that you got to stay off the streets. You're going to have to study real hard. You made that choice on your own. You made the choice to be who you are. Yes, there are outside factors that have impacted your life and guided you in the direction that you're in. And let me be honest, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, your government has everything to do with that. But you made your choices and you worked your ass off. You want to see fucking change? Get the fuck up off your ass and go do something about it. You want to see that all of a sudden what you're hearing on the news is no longer all these negative stories, or you want to see that these people that you helped put in power, whether you chose to vote or not, you helped. You want to see them removed? Do something about it. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody is an able body that can be out on the street protesting. There are other ways to do it. There are still ways to get things done. There are letters you can write. There is getting on social media and doing your own shows like Dan was talking about earlier. Speaking, sometimes somebody just needs to hear the motivation and know they're not the only one that feels that way. So maybe that's your forte, but we all are good at something. So why don't you go ahead and put that into the action? Stop doing this and start doing something about it. And yes, I can say I have. I am that activist. I do go out on the streets. I do the protests. I do the legwork. And you know what? You can throw your bottles at me because you disagree. That is fine. You have an opinion. But instead of actually coming out just to protest because you don't like the name of what I'm protesting for, or you have these beliefs because you heard people say this, that, and the other gossip, rumor mill stuff about it, why don't you actually come up to me and have a conversation and ask me, why do I feel like this is a reason to protest? Why do I feel like this is something important? Because no matter what, we all have things that we want to stand for, right? At least I would hope so. Because let's be honest, you either stand for something or you fall for everything. Pick your fucking battle. If you want to fall for anything, you want to be that lemming. I don't know if y'all remember this game or if you were even alive for this game. Literally, lemmings. You want to know what this game was? A whole bunch of characters constantly walking to their death until you, the game player, stop them from doing it. You want to keep doing that. You want to be the lemming. You just want to follow the line and, march and, be the perfect little soldier, wherever you are. Fucking fine. Do that. But understand, as long as you fear the government and do as they say, you are literally part of a machine. You are not a fucking human being because you don't think for yourself. You have no cognitive functions where you're sitting there and you're doing the thought process and you're thinking real hard about the why, the who, the what, the when, the where. We don't have to agree on everything to have the idea that, you know what, maybe we should talk. Maybe we should figure out what is the actual point that we need to focus on as a united front. I say this a lot, and I do, and I know it. But literally, V for Vendetta. The people shouldn't fear their government. The government should fear their people. Literally, there is more of us than there is of them, all across the fucking world. Yeah, don't get me wrong. The battle won't necessarily be for the weak of heart. It won't be for the ones that really aren't understanding that you're literally going to put your life on the line at some point in time. But if this is a society you're happy with, this is what you want, this is what you want your kids will have, this is what you want your nieces and nephews, or whomever it is that's younger than you that, idolizes you, this is what you want them to have. Okay, sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, and stop vocalizing your opinion. You want to see the shit change, like I hear so many people say, then fucking do it. Make it better for the next generation. Stop sitting here and complaining about the woe is me and, they did this and they did that and they set me up for failure and I'm stuck. Yeah, we know. The government set it up and designed it perfectly. But until you do something about it, it's not going to fucking change. So the next time you want to have an opinion and you want to start labeling people, and I'm going to pull a quote, oddly enough, from Falcon the Winter Soldier, fuck you, Jackie. These labels, terrorist, refugee, thug, they're often used to get around the question, why? So before you start calling somebody a racist, before you start calling somebody an N-word, a piece of shit, a neo-Nazi, a refugee, or they're terrorist groups and they're doing terrorist actions, start asking why the fuck they're doing this shit. Why? What is the bottom line? What is causing this? And I bet you $20 it leads back to the fucking government at the end of the day. These are the people that have all this power. Again, I'm going to quote Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I swear they put it just perfectly. They have all this power as much as an insane god or a misguided teenager. The question has always been, what the fuck are they going to do with it? They look like an insane god to me. They're that vengeful, wrathful god. Oh, you're not going to listen, so here's the next thing we're going to put in place. And you're going to keep buying it. You're going to keep eating it. You're just going to fucking deal because you became complacent. You were born complacent. And you know what? You let us shovel all this shit in your face, in your ears, right there in front of your eyes. And don't question it. So they're not going to stop. Capitalism in America was not built to last. Legit. It is only meant to survive a 4 to 7 year cycle the way that it is set up. And every time when it starts to fall, you start hearing bailout, 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 boost the economy. Because they know they've set up for this. Why do you think our tax dollars keep going to this crazy shit? It's the cycle they created. So instead of sitting here telling me how the government is broken, the system is broken, nah, motherfuckers. It's literally doing exactly what they designed it to do. You want it to change, stand up, speak up, do something, or shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and twiddle your thumbs. You got something to say, you don't like what I had to say, you feel that I'm completely wrong, you want to have a conversation, a good faith conversation, awesome. You are more than welcome to reach me. Go to my Twitter, @AceOfYourHeart. My name on there is Unapologetically Ace. I have no problem talking to you. I am very kind-hearted, loving. I love people with an undying passion, but I hate you motherfuckers at the same goddamn time. But I will gladly sit and listen. Don't attack VOP for my opinions. These are my opinions. If I'm the reason why you tuned out, I won. Thank you. But if you stuck around, I'm glad you chose to. I hope you got something from it, or at least started questioning something. That's all I got, ladies and gentlemen.
See?
Good job, Ace.
See? And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See? Bring that fire. Because she has it, I have it, I know you all have it. Bring that fire back into the streets, back into this different 3D world. This, just yes, 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 yes. I love that. That was perfect. And see, at the end of the day, she said it. She said it best. She said what I've said ad nauseum, what we've all said at various points in times. The little differences that we have doesn't outweigh the overwhelming unity that we have and being that force for something more rather than talking about it, being about it. And maybe all you can do is talk about it. But again, if you're doing it on a platform like this and putting your voice out there and putting your passion out there and putting that to work, then you're being about it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that should also serve as an FU to those who wonder why, when different political ideologies, I don't care. I don't care. I support and love every single person that we have that speaks freely and speaks from the heart and is brave enough to put their opinions out there. That is what matters most to me. And these are the people that I choose to stand with.
I
Wow.
appreciate these words, Ace. And to be honest, it gets me upset. And not what you say gets me upset. It gets me upset that you have to constantly have to come up on here and have to keep on explaining yourself to these fucking peons. And it kind of pisses me the fuck off because it's like you guys haven't had this. If you guys don't know what the fuck the VOP is about now, since we've been doing this since I was around, since Podbean, since Dan started this, 12 years ago, since like it's even more like, like it's kind of frustrating. It's like, and at this point, I really hope that Ace doesn't have to come up on here. And not because I don't want to hear her, not because I'm tired of her saying the same exact thing. She can say it as much as she wants, but just because I hate that you guys are literally blaming the opinions of one person on a whole company. That's the most stupidest thing too. Two, getting mad at that one person and then just shutting her out and then canceling us as a whole. It shows that you're extremely small-minded, you're uneducated, and you're extremely afraid of having an equal intelligent conversation or a higher intelligent conversation. So from the bottom of my heart, Ace, we appreciate you here, even though you like to sacrifice virgins. And we're kind of talking in meetings to try to help you stop doing that. But it's called an exorcism. But
my Lanta, leave my gimmick alone. I don't mean it. I just say it because it's
I know. And whoever honestly believes that Ace has a basement where she sacrificed virgins, know that I would kill to be in that basement. All right.
I want to piggyback off of something you said, and I'm sorry I'm keeping a serious tone, but something that I could speak to, and I think Ace understands better. And this is not a knock on you, Elias, Logan, Coin, not at all. Please don't take it as that. But Ace can relate to something that I think that her and I share that some people don't. And I look forward to when people can have that same sense. When you feel as if you have to defend yourself or keep putting things out there, as I always say every week, it's like, this is my PSA and a reminder, right? It's because, yes, we're reaching new audiences. And yes, we sometimes have to explain to people that have been so indoctrinated and entrenched in it for so long. So it is annoying and it's redundant, but sometimes you have to do it, right? But it gives hope to those of us who have actually been in the streets and who have actually rallied and protested and fought in that 3D realm and have actually been out there and faced people who wish you dead, wish you harm, have threatened you. When you're an activist and then you're also doing this whole online world and building a network, it's like there's something that I don't know how to explain it to the three of you, but she understands, and others who have done it in the streets as well understand, is there's something empowering about that. There's something uplifting and invigorating about that, because you've done more than talk. You've been active, you've been involved, and you put in the time and effort and energy and passion. So it's one of those deals where all of you, are younger than us, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're 80, if you're 18, if you're 16, right? If you have that spark in you and you're willing to do it, that is what is uplifting to people that have actually done it and have actually been out there and faced the real enemy. And that's the narrative and the propaganda and those who would kill us because they believe and they subscribe to that. So I hope you understand where I was going with that, but there's something that, unless you've been out there fighting for something, it's a bond and a commonality that nobody can understand, but it's also the most unifying and gratifying thing in the world, especially when done for the right reasons. I hope that makes sense.
No,
it does perfectly.
Yeah.
Because we're not out there in the streets like you have. I think that's a great reference there. But I also want to touch on something Ace said that kind of applies to what you just said. And that's, you brought up the face-to-face, being out there, being on the streets. In your everyday life, if someone comes up to you that may not see it how you see it, but they're inquisitive, don't just shun them because they're a quote-unquote sheep. Talk to them. You might be the one that opens up their mind to send them down that, rabbit hole that, increases their thought process to what we have here.
100%.
Yep.
And it's one of those things, right, that I always say to people, like, if you, like, even on social media, when I talk to my friends and they'll be like, man, I hate this guy on my social media, we think totally different, I'm just gonna block him. And I say, don't. I go, the minute you block him, you close that door of understanding indefinitely. And it doesn't make a sense. It's okay, it's okay to live in a pastry dish of different opinionated organisms. I know the media tells you that if you do that, it's going to be cancerous and it's going to affect you and you're going to be a thug and this and that. But it's okay, versatility causes progression. That's all I have to say.
Diversity of thought and the willingness to go above and beyond thinking something and actually bringing something, And again, and Coin, and I appreciate what you said as well, and what you've all said. And again, it's not about, and I just want to reemphasize this. I'm doing it myself, but I have hope because of the people like you that are here, and maybe not as entrenched as an Ace or myself, or as entrenched as whomever, right? But you care enough to be involved, and you're willing to put yourself out there. That means something, and that leads to something more. That's why I always said when I would hold a rally, if one person, well, there you go, Coin said it. If one person shows up, it's a success, right? And I meant that. I didn't just say it to make it sound good. If I had low attendance, we never had low attendance, but I didn't say that as a excuse. I say that because I mean it, and it applies now more than ever before. And you think about the duality of what we have here, even with NC and JC putting their stuff out there in the wrestling world, right? But intertwining that with their thoughts and opinions and their everything, and like TJ does, or whomever, take your pick. It's bringing all these different worlds, these different environments together, and empowering people to speak up. And that's how you reach that next level, if you will. And that's how you bring up somebody else. I know for a fact that you, Elias, have actually mentored others, right? Yep. And I'm sorry I'm putting personal stuff out there, but you said that, you said you wanted me to help you with stuff, and you were helping other people with stuff in the past, right? I'm not trying to embarrass you or anything.
No. Yeah, this is fine.
We're all cognizant of the fact that none of us are perfect, and none of us are exactly where we want to be, but we're willing to learn and engage and grow along the way. But you see, it's all about bringing that next level up, bringing that next group up, bringing more people into the fold. That's how you create a revolution. And as I've said, and Ace said perfectly, and V for Vendetta is one of my most favorite movies, of course, but the people, that's when liberty is achieved, when they fear the government. And the most wonderful things, most wonderful words that I can't even speak verbatim at the moment because my mind is sunburned and fried. But you know where I'm going. In the Constitution is the people have the right to take back their government. And people need to really do it. If you consider it flawed, you consider it great, you consider it this, consider it that, there's power in those words. So even if you disagree with that, it is literally written to the fabric of our founding, right? Of our foundation, that we have that right, and they will do everything in their power to make you feel that you have anything but that, because they fear us. We are feared more than a Donald Trump. We are feared more than an AOC. We are feared more than any foreign adversary. We are what they fear the most, because if we start to bridge those gaps and come together, they are literally and figuratively terrified of what the outcome will be, because they will absolutely lose control. And that's something that everybody needs to think about and needs to replay in their mind over and over and over again, that they literally have the military deployed at our nation's capital to keep the people away. Remember that. That's not a right thing. That's not a left thing. That's not a middle thing. They do not want the people in the nation's capital. They are afraid. And I'm talking about the grounds. I'm talking about a mile away from. That's just a greater example of what it really comes down to. They are terrified of us. And that's why I speak to the people that I admire and throughout history, right? Jefferson, MacArthur, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., JFK, Trump, whomever said it, about empowering the people, right? They fear us. They fear this. They fear conversation. They fear diversity of thought and coming together. That is the same fear that they propagate onto you with the fear porn and the viruses and the this and that and everything else. Their COVID-19 is a population no longer divided. That will cripple them quicker than anything else in this world. They fear us not. There you go. If we don't die,
Sorry,
you're 100% right. Because they want us to die. But no. But there's actually truth in that. If we don't roll over and we actually stand up and fight back, we are that meteor or that asteroid coming for the freaking dinosaurs, right? That is an extinction level event that they do not plan for. They think they have reactionary ideas, but they are not ready for it. They do not know how to take it because they believe so wholeheartedly in their system to keep us constantly divided. And that's why I love the beauty of this platform and the beauty of the people who could think freely and speak for themselves, but we could come together and have these conversations, and things that we say are so common. We have unity in this thought, in this opinion, in this mission, in this vision, right? There's more there, and that's what they hate.
Have you ever heard of the shopping cart theory?
I have not.
So it's essentially a psychological breakdown of different people and self-governing. So it's like, do you take the shopping cart back to the cart return after you're done? Or do you just leave it where it is? And I know it's something so simple as that. It might, be overlooked, but I like the analogy that they play into that, because it does deal with self-governing. Do you put that thing back so that it doesn't hit another person's car? So the shopping cart attendee, whoever, corrals all the carts together and puts them back in the store, has an easier job. Do you do that? Because to me, and I encourage anybody listening right now to look into it, it's the perfect analogy to me for self-governing.
I thought he was gonna explain more into that, but okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I have other things to say about it, but it's just I would rather people just look into it.
Okay. I'm
Sorry
lost
for the
of
dead
words
air.
here. Yeah, I'm lost of words here. Yeah. That's pretty dope, Coin. That's pretty enlightening. Pretty awesome. VOP is awesome. Don't forget, guys. This show is brought to you by Rep Sports. Go to repsports.com. Get an amazing drink, Phrase energy drinks. Use promo code VOPUSARadio.com to get 20% off. It's a steal. Yes. I think above all what we're all trying to say. Oh, wait, before everything else, how Dan was saying, to fight back and do all to do all this stuff, to do the exclaimer for all the idiots out there. It doesn't have to be by force. We're not saying burn things down. We're not saying attack. There's other ways to win. This is a chess game. There's more other ways to get checkmate. We're not asking you just to use that one thing. There's other ways so that we can win in this game of democracy that our world leaders are making us play. That's just what I wanted to say there. All right, Dan. So floor is yours.
Oh, spot on. That's perfect. I completely concur. It's funny because you ever notice that these impromptu shows sometimes are the ones that start out with issues or late or whatever it can be. We have some really damn good conversations, and I love that. I really do.
It's like we push it off. Yeah, it's like, like it fucks up in the beginning, and we're just like, man, we really got to do a good show, and then we just end up doing like one of the best shows ever.
Without even trying, we think like we got to really make up for this, and then it just becomes something so much more, and I love that. Logan, have you... Yes, Coin. 69, 69, 69, 69, 69. You have saved the day. So, Coin, are going to... I can't speak now. Now it's time to end. No. Are you going to join us on Thursdays again?
I will try. Like I said, I expressed it to my employer that I would love to have Thursday nights off. So We'll see how that goes.
No, it's cool. And something that I like the diversity of co-hosts we have, and I like bringing more people in the conversation because this is good shit, and it's better like this. So this is fun.
Yeah, where's Jackie? Is Jackie okay? Is she doing a meeting? Case?
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to her since Fred Hampton left us went off air. I know she had a lot of work to do as far as different podcast episodes and editing and everything. So I'm hoping she's actually getting that done.
Yeah, probably. Shout out to Jackie and the Fred Hampton crew, man. They get a bunch of air horns for that. They're pretty dope.
And still looking forward to announcing when we're going to do that roundtable show with everybody.
Need you to get with the ones that have the most difficult schedule, which is the TWRP guys. Give us a date, and then from there we can figure out who from FHL can join us.
Perfect. That is cool, and I think that's going to be another awesome display of what we're all about here. And again, blending so many different subject matter experts, if you will. There's so many different viewpoints and so many different opinions all together having a conversation. It's going to be a badass show, and that's what we do. So I'm excited. I'm stoked about it. I really am. So all right. So with that, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I'm going to cut it at 2 hours because I want to leave people with something more, and hopefully, we're going to have our shows we are on podcast on demand, right? Or yes, no. I hate asking you in real time. I'm sorry. Okay.
I've become really in charge of that, right? I guess. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yes, we are on podcast on demand. The episodes are on short delay.
Yeah.
And that will be coming out very soon, guys. If what helps that get by faster? If you support the Patreon account, plug into that, patreon.com/VOPUSA Radio. Any amount matters. But that'll be coming out soon.
And I didn't mean to put you on the spot there. I'm just saying that, it's important to remind people as well. If you missed the show, you can listen to it anytime on our website, VOPUSARadio.com. But of course, we're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Podcast One. We are literally now at 91 platforms worldwide. So we are everywhere and anywhere. So please share, follow, subscribe. And if you want to join or be a part of what we do here, join a show. You want to have a show, we're always open to conversation. VOPUSALive@gmail.com. We have some other emails. I know I didn't put it in the chat. I apologize, but please never hesitate to freaking reach out to us. You can find us pretty much anywhere and everywhere. And we're always putting out content and we're always adding new stuff. So please, I meant what I said. You're welcome here. And we welcome the conversation. Always welcoming new voices, new people. Make it happen. So please share us, follow us, subscribe to us, and keep checking out all our damn shows. So with that, closing thoughts from anybody? Or just a general thank you to everybody?
I'd like to thank Ace for coming on and putting on that amazing sweater that she has. It's my favorite sweater that she has. I think it shows her happiness the most. So thank you, Ace, for that.
You're special.
That's what my mom.
Haven't you figured this out by now? He's very special.
Mm-hmm.
My Lord. And then we lost it right at the end.
Oh, look, we have the outro video that I put up because I couldn't find the intro video. We could put.
There you go. You can play it. Hey, everybody, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a
You've been
part.
listening to another show of Podcast Excellence.
I gotta
on
change
the
that.
Voice of the People USA Radio Network, where free speech
So
thrives
many
and
things are
political correctness dies. To contact us, hit the website at www.vopusaradio.com. On Twitter and Twitch at VOP USA Radio. On YouTube
Maybe.
at Voice of the People USA
Maybe.
Radio. On D-Live,
Radio
Periscope,
Excellence sounds
Facebook,
better.
Voice of the People USA Radio fan and group
At the
page.
time.
And of course, find the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio.
Before
Podcast
anybody
One,
messages me,
Google,
I know you can
Apple,
hear us.
Stitcher, Pandora, and basically anywhere else podcasts can be found. Remember, new live shows can be found every day and night of the week, exclusively at www.vopusaradio.com. This is where censorship comes to die, and all voices and opinions are welcome here.
All right, everybody listening on this world, good night to you all. Thank you, thank you.